Bait al-Maqdis is the first Qibla of Muslims. For 16 to 17 months after the migration, Muslims used to pray only by turning towards Bait al-Maqdis, Masjid Aqsa. Then after the command of Qibla came, the Qibla house of Muslims became the Kaaba. The Al-Aqsa Mosque is the third holiest place after the Kaaba and the Prophet's Mosque. Local Muslims call it Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa or Haram Qudsi Sharif. It is located in East Jerusalem, which is occupied by Israel. It is the largest mosque in Jerusalem, which has a capacity of 5,000 worshippers, while thousands of people can pray in the courtyard of the mosque. After leading the Imamate, he left for the journey of the seven heavens through Barak. In Surah Al-Isra of the Holy Quran, Allah Almighty mentioned this mosque in these words: He took the Al-Aqsa Mosque, around which we have blessed, so that we may show him some examples of our power. Indeed, Allah is the all-hearing and all-seeing. Surah Al-Isra. According to hadiths, it is blessed to travel to only 3 mosques in the world, which include Masjid Al-Haram, Masjid Al-Aqsa and Masjid Al-Nabawi. During the time of Sayyidina Umar Farooq, Muslims conquered Bait al-Maqdis, when Sayyidina Umar left the city. He ordered the construction of a mosque near the place where Saqqara and Al-Buraq were bound, where he and his companions offered prayers. This mosque was later called Al-Aqsa Mosque because this place is called Al-Aqsa Mosque in the beginning of Surah Bani Israel of the Holy Quran. During this period, many companions settled in Bait al-Maqdis for the purpose of preaching Islam and publishing the religion. Caliph Abd al-Malik bin Marwan started the construction of Al-Aqsa Mosque and Caliph Walid bin Abd al-Malik completed its construction and renovated it. Abbasid Caliph Abu Ja'far Mansur also repaired this mosque. After the First Crusade, when the Christians captured Bait al-Maqdis, they changed a lot in the Al-Aqsa Mosque. They built several rooms for living in the mosque and named it the Temple of Solomon, as well as adding several other buildings that were used as almshouses and granaries. They built a church inside the mosque and alongside the mosque. After the conquest of Bait al-Maqdis in 1187, Sultan Salah al-Din Ayyubi cleansed the Al-Aqsa Mosque of all traces of Christians and rebuilt the mihrab and the mosque. Salah al-Din fought about 16 wars for the liberation of Qibla I. The hostility of the Jews against is a constant chapter of history. Every student of the history of Islam is aware of the revolts and conspiracies that the Jews of Medina did during the prophethood. For the past 14 centuries, Jews have kept their hostile attitude against Muslims in particular and against other humanity in general. The greatest tragedy in the accidents and tragedies of the 20th century is the Palestine issue. By creating this problem, it is as if the Jews and Christians have stuck a dagger in the heart of Islam. After the establishment of Israel in 1948, the usurping Jews came from Europe, evicted the Palestinians who had been living in Palestine for thousands of years from their lands and properties, and forced them into camps. Forced to live in a very poor condition. On August 21, 1969, an Australian Jew, Dennis Michael Rohan, set fire to the first Qibla, which caused the Al-Aqsa Mosque to be engulfed in fire for 3 hours and the large one on the southeast side of the Qibla. Part fell off. The minbar in the mihrab, which was installed by Saladin Ayyubi after the conquest of Bait al-Maqdis, was also burnt. In fact, the Jews consider this mosque as a place of worship built in place of the Temple of Solomon and want to tear it down and build the Temple of Solomon again, although they have never been able to prove that the Temple of Solomon was built here. More than half a century ago, thousands of Palestinian Muslims have been martyred, injured or displaced in the aggressive operations and wars of the Israeli Jews, and millions of people are living in miserable conditions in camps in the occupied Palestine or in neighboring countries. And the United Nations and its countries. The United States and the European countries have been patrons and supporters of the Jews. The book under comment, History of Bait al-Maqdis, is authored by Mumtaz Liaquat Sahib. Most of the book is related to the history and legends of Bait al-Maqdis according to its name, but in addition, the details of the establishment and plans of Israel have also come. This book is the story of the history and greatness of this city and the story of the honor for which our ancestors sacrificed their blood for a whole century. About 45 years ago, there was no notable book in Urdu on the history of Baitul Maqdis.